Hey everyone, Ying Yang here. I just wanted to, show my appreciation for HackForums by making this video. Just wanted to, briefly dive right in and, explain why I joined HackForums and ultimately why I came back and stayed. So, I started off first on Halo Strike, which was, a huge forum for Halo, and, it was mainly for like, people who were trying to cheap by means of standby, booting people out, modding, whatnot. So it was once you hit level 40 in Halo 2, it was pretty much beyond that. Everyone was cheating. So at first, I started getting into standbying by myself, and then there was team standbying and booting people out. So then eventually I gradually got into modding and then host booting because there was this guy named Don't Care, which was a pretty big guy. He came out with his own IP flutter called the Dosser, and his name was Don't Care, and he was a known booter. The first that I known of. So then Halo Strike got shortly shut down, and I was still interested in in bots and kicking people offline. Just like a bunch of skitty shit. And then it eventually led me onto this forum when I first joined April of 2010. I also got into RATS, which is known as remote administration tools, and found my first one that I used was Poison Ivy, which is probably a major throwback. So I've been on hack forums for over 6 years, on and off. And mainly when I first started, I got involved with reselling of many products. The first one that I was involved in was known as the Skid products, no pun intended, and then Blackout AIO, all in one. So though these have ended and no longer supported, they were very popular back in early 2011 that I personally provided support for. And the issue with reselling and why I stopped coming back to hack forums was that I was tired of the scamming and the nonsense that the main product owner was coming, and his name was Joker, and he was the owner of Skid, and he was backdooring many of the products, and it affected many members, and it was looking bad on myself that hey, I was supporting something that was backdoored. And I made a thread originally with screenshots, and it it helped them getting banned. And the second time I came around, there was Blackout AIO, and Game Pro was the owner, and he simply just stopped replying and went off the grid. So like at this point, I've had so many PMs and IM through Skype, whatever it may be, messages that I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't even afford to refund the customers because all I did was provide support. So then a couple of years later, Black Shades was released by Visceral, and I'm not sure if many members know him. I mean, it was such a huge tool and whatnot, and it looked really good because it was like all in one that came with a Flutter and whatnot, and it was huge at the time. And then 6 months after it got ultimately shut down by the FBI, it was a huge thing on hack forums. And if you don't know about Visceral, then Google him and you'll find a bunch of licks on him. So though I haven't contributed as much as to the forum as I would like to compared to what I did on my own wallet, at least I didn't give up on helping members and run away with the money. I did what I could to create like scam threads and whatnot, and tell users, hey, I'm just providing support. It's not like most of the funds were heading my way. And I love helping members and making sure at least what they pay for is a real deal, which is why I joined as part of the appraiser group. So you know ultimately I came back because Hack Forums is a very fun and chillax place to be in. A lot of the members are down to earth and whatnot. And if you're able to provide input and show that you're high quality, then the love will be given back. So I just want to say thank you to Hack Forums for everything.